Oi! This is Kaizoku Uncharted, where a couple of siblings tell the vastity of anime. If you think this is the crew for you, set sail with us each week. I'm Jakia.
And Justin. So, in the news.
The news.
So Anime Studio Quad went ahead and has announced that they're going to go ahead and be doing an anime called Katsu's Neat. Looks like basically a neat, but she is a Koichi, the female ninja.
Okay.
So she protects him, and
okay.
That is I don't know what she's protecting him from, but apparently her assassin abilities is basically what covers her room and board because she ends up living there. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. It could be interesting. I also see it looks like, and now this looks like except for summer. This anime apparently quality assurance in another world. The anime is delayed till July, so it was supposed to be in spring, but now looking like summer.
Right.
And I was just like, how? Like, how's this gonna work? So
it's all about quality assurance, right?
I gotta see. We got a new movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Look Back.
Okay.
It's officially getting an anime movie scheduled to premiere June 28th, 2024.
Okay.
So we'll probably take a look at that. And I think it's happening because when did February? So, earlier this week. So next week, we are supposed to be getting maybe it's not for us. It could be like in Japan. But the Hashira training. Oh, no, it is. It's for everybody. Hashira training in theaters globally beginning next week.
Oh, all right. That's great.
Man, I guess we got to go to the movies.
I mean, we just have to, Justin. We owe it to ourselves to do so.
That's the news.
All right. That's great. Wait, so no birthdays or nothing?
I got none.
Okay. That's fine. All right, so I hope everyone's been enjoying our new format of how we're doing things. So, all right, so we're about to talk about the next 3 episodes and stuff. So that puts us at like week 6 or week 5 for some shows.
6 for
some shows.
Can I start us off?
You know what? Yes, but before you start off, I just want to say, people. Winter has been strong. Winter has been extremely strong, and I feel like the past years in anime without our strong continuing shows, it's been a little weak, just a little bit.
Okay.
But winter has redeemed all. We've got some great shows.
And I want to say, the reason why you're getting this episode on Sunday evening is because we have Valentine's Day. Justin wasn't available. Right. So, here we are. So, it's a little late, but, the show must go on.
And it's going to be great. All right, but go ahead. Please, start.
Speaking of shows going on. Okay. Or maybe not going on.
Okay.
I am not a fan of this Fluffy Paradise.
How are you not a fan of Fluffy Paradise? You know what? It's fine.
What am I getting into here?
What do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. I'm not going to be...
You haven't done anything wrong yet, Justin.
Listen.
She hasn't.
What's the growth limit here? How old do you think we're going to be? Okay? Please tell me.
I mean, look, this is only a 12-er. I don't think we're going to be that old.
We're starting off at 3.
Yeah.
You think we staying at 3 years old?
No, we've grown, as you can see.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we have grown. Maybe we'll get to 8 or 9, but...
8? That's it?
It's only 12 episodes. Come on.
Okay. So, I was, in the very beginning, I was like, man, people don't realize, trips and falls are real, okay?
It is. It's why they ask you at the doctor, have you fallen of recent? It's important.
Now the question becomes...
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, is she really dead?
Yes.
Because I didn't take it that way. Because the god said, like, you know, this is set in stone. Like, you're going to die. But I could change the way you will die.
Right.
So that's how I was like, oh, so will, like, she come back to life and die a different way? But, like,
so.
But you going to die this year. You know, like,
I feel like she's going to die that year, but he's not going to let it be as bad.
It ain't going to be this trip and fall.
Yeah, because she was overworked and she died in the hallway of her home.
And then he asked her, and granted, guys, we started from 1 to 6 on this one because we didn't talk about it. But he asked, you know, would you like any type of special power?
Yeah.
You know, like a killing power or something to do this or that?
Yeah.
And then she go on her little rant about how she want to be able to pet fluffy animals.
Look, she was overworked in her other life. She wants to do everything she couldn't do then, and so she
told us that petting a family cat is what got her through some of the things.
Right.
But the guy was like, well, okay, don't really know how that's going to help, but that'll be your power. And then she was confused. Like, why didn't you say a real power you wanted, and then you could have went on your tangent? I just didn't care for it.
I think it works out in her favor because I feel like
it works out now.
I mean, it works out now, but I feel like it worked. It's a different take on what it means to be a tamer.
See, and yes, because as soon as she first said all this, I was like, well, this may go down in history as the dumbest power there is. But yes, it ended up essentially being opposite of old girl. This seems like an S rank taming ability.
It's true. She has Holy Beast under her.
Oh, Lars.
She got Lars. Got a dragon.
Soul. You know.
Taming.
And that's what I'm saying here. I put a note. This is why I started to get angry.
I like Dee Dee's cool.
I put a note in here saying, at the end of the day, this is a 27-year-old woman. So I don't want any shenanigans. I don't want any of these problems.
Okay.
And I got shenanigans too early.
What are you talking
You 27, about? You know good and well that a 3-year-old shouldn't be running off. You know? And then it was just problem after problem with this show. Like, who would let a 3-year-old jump from a balcony after a dragon's been summoned, has her stubby little legs running? They are stubbed. I didn't think she got feet. Like, they put her in these, like, basic looking shoes that don't show any definition in the feet at all, just like they blocks. And I'm like, she running up to water mages. How's she outrunning all these people anyway? And then get close to this dragon. And then we clearly meet all these people in the council of the king's
that was
court.
Crazy.
Like, we can all tell this priest is corrupt.
Yes.
He looks like a weasel. But more importantly, the only thing I put is, like, I'm confused. What's with all these creeps? Like, we get questioned. They say, hey, you could go play. This is a lot for you. And I'm thinking, cool. Right. They just gonna leave and go play. And no, they go
to the other side of the room.
Other side of the room, basically. And these idiots are just watching her play with the lion or the tiger, feed the tiger Lars, and then fall asleep. And then they just watching her, and then they start resuming conversations. I was just like, I am so done with this show.
I love this show.
Continue. Why do you love it?
I just think it's great. I think it's a cute show. It's a different take or a different spin on being a tamer. I don't trust that priest. That teacher is the worst. They should have let her go the minute she was carrying on, but they didn't, which was weird. No, I'm just curious to see like how the show's gonna play out, because like the god was like, hey, there's a problem that needs to be solved here, and like we're slowly but surely like learning from like how corrupt the people are, like from the teacher to the priest, like what the actual problem is, even to like when they're in the northern part of the country, they're learning about, like, hey, the whole reason that this spider's here is because, like, people are doing things they shouldn't be doing, and it's, like, disrupting the ecosystem and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, there's a story here. They're building the world. It's happening. Don't know why the goblins are, like, stealing people, but they are.
Hey, why not?
Okay. It's in their nature. Right. But yes, I don't know. I just thought it was like a cute show that's trying to like tackle some things. We'll see. I think it's great to see like this season. There's a family that's like they all care about each other, and it's not wild like the other one.
Listen, I was here to see what
I love
some of the
show.
heinous or what lengths is this prejudice going to, where the fact that this guy wanted to destroy all of mankind.
That's what I'm saying. It's about to happen in Justice Sandwich World. People enjoy it. People think it's cute. They think it's great.
Sure.
Give it slice of life moments.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say Nino's not my favorite. She got a little attitude, but it's fine. They want to be friends. I don't know. But no. I'm enjoying the show. I like how Shiki's like now like her like one of her tame people now. It's a whole thing. And she got an ice spider, frost spider. So one day she may go to battle. Maybe that's how it's all gonna end. Maybe she'll be 8 leading an army of all these mythical beasts, and it'll be fine. Justin's just shaking his head like no.
We'll see how. See how this world continue to develop.
I love it. I love Fluffy Paradise. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's good. Say what you want. It's
so
good.
from one weak tamer to another. Granted, she only strong because of the class of creature they taming.
Yeah.
But she's still a child.
Yeah,
so to the next child, the weakest tamer
began a journey
to pick up trash.
Can we put
Oh.
Those ruffians in the book, those bandits, they just need to get into the book now. I'm sorry. I can't wait.
The one-time bandits that we saw?
We saw them in 2 episodes. It's not a one-time thing.
I could be thinking about another.
Talking about the ones that try to steal her. Okay, fine. I'm jumping. Fine. Let's back it up. Back it up. It's fine.
This is one of the few shows that's behind because we're only on episode 5 for this one.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we're in these. What happened with these bandits? Let me see here. I don't have bandits in my notes at all. Okay, so yeah, tell me about these bandits.
How do you not have this in the bandits at all? That's crazy. So she finally got enough money to like get a tent to have a lodge.
Oh,
and
no,
they're
those are bandits.
They tried to steal her stuff. If you're a thief and you're trying to steal things, I'm calling you a bandit. And I said ruffians first. They're also ruffians.
Okay, I'm sorry.
People up.
I put them as hoodlums.
Okay,
hoodlums.
even fine. Put the hoodlums. Put
Yes.
the hoodlums in the book.
Oh
Okay?
yeah, we can
They're
put them in the
terrible.
book.
Awful people. I just couldn't wait. I was like, these people are the worst.
Wrong title.
Up there with the town. Is a town? Is her hometown in the book?
We don't have anyone from the show in the book.
Well, let's just remedy that right now.
I'm just gonna put the weakest tamer. We should know what it means.
Yes.
Now, what is her original town called again? I'm forgetting it.
It starts with an L. It's
right.
like Lacomi or something. Hold on. I'm gonna get it.
Because just like how her punk behind is supposed to be forgetting her name, I'm trying not to remember that town.
It's an awful town. It's an awful town. Let's see. Latomi. So the village of Latomi. Latomi. Put them in the book. They're the worst.
Alright. Town of Latomi.
Yes.
Wants to kill little kid.
Put the mayor of the town of the village in there. He's the ring leader.
I mean, with that logic, ain't we putting the whole town? They all went.
He needs to be there twice, Justin.
Same for the dad in that logic.
Absolutely. I was getting there. Absolutely.
Now, I did want to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Because episode 3, we start to see the backstory.
We did see the backstory.
I don't necessarily think the mom wants her dead.
No, I don't think the mom wants her dead.
I just want to
think
get
the
your
mom was
take
just
on
shocked. I'm not upset with the mom. I'm upset with the brother because like he just
I can stand
he
him
just pushed her
with his furniture skill.
Right. I was like, he's like, I'm gonna make her living. I was like, all right,
cool.
Build some furniture.
Good story.
All right. Yeah, he's the worst. Yeah, I don't think the mom did. I think the mom was just shocked. I think she was shocked because people were even accusing her whether or not she was theirs, and I was like, "That's crazy."
Hey, that ain't the first time. Oh, but shoot, speaking of the last show,
yeah, that's what I mean. That priest was
that priest was questioning if Nina was there. It was his
in front of the king and everybody else.
I said, man,
I was like, this guy, who is this person? Yeah, it was just unfortunate. I was like, I'm over them. Yes. Is there anyone else from before we get back into the show? I feel like those are all the people I have for right now that need to go into the book for the
You want the brother on here too?
Absolutely, just put him in
brother.
there. Yep.
I feel like his real crime is having a furniture skill.
It's not, but that's fine. I'll allow it. It's okay. I was like, that's totally fine.
And hoodlums tried to take tent.
That was like the craziest thing. I was like, these 4 grown people are like being
First
like,
of all,
they're like, hey, you stole my tent. I was like, how?
I know we jumping a bit.
Yeah.
But I do not like that those 2 escaped. Because I know they're gonna be back.
They're gonna be back.
They're gonna cause trouble for us.
Absolutely. But at least someone's looking out for us.
So just kind of catch up.
Yeah.
Few things I've taken. We go ahead and get Famicia's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, she got 2 siblings.
Right.
Sister with the soothing skill.
Brother got what? 1 star?
Yeah. Brother with the furniture skill.
What, he got 2 stars?
I think so. Maybe a 3-star.
I don't even think he had 3 stars. That's what I mean.
Mother with the sewing skill. Father with the water skill.
Yeah.
The fortune teller foresaw that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Mistress Loba, who is the fortune teller, she dies.
Yeah.
I'm still under the impression, I felt like maybe the mayor killed her, but he seemed so superstitious, I don't think he would want to bring a calamity to his town. So I don't think he would have did it. I
don't know. I feel like her death, since it happened so randomly, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he had a role to play.
Right, that's fair.
I wouldn't put it.
It seemed like the whole town knew. They were like, he said when he got on his soapbox, he was like, "That's what happened because she was taking care of her in the woods." It was like, dang, they all knew the whole time. So they could have came at any moment. Right. And then I don't like her sometimes because even through all this, she was still thought like Sora was gonna eat her, and I was just like, would you grow up?
I mean, listen, she ate. I know you hate it when I say that.
100%.
But we do know that this is a rare slime, so we truly don't know what it's capable of. Okay, and it just but I mean, after the moment where it healed the animal in the forest, I feel like we fine.
Oh yeah, So I know I won't ever get the votes. So
okay, you want to put her in the vote?
Of course. No. I know you want to give her the pass because she's a kid and all this stuff.
She's just trying to make a living, man.
You know what? Make a living my foot, because that's all I was putting down. Episode 4, I was just writing it up. I was like, walking around again, showing off all those magic bags, shaking my head. And then, that's why somebody was like, what's that boy doing all them bags? And I was like, Thank you, someone said it.
And that's what those hoodlums said, too. They were like, what you doing with those?
I can't stand it. And I've been saying this since episode 1.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all these. She's always showing off all these bags. And then I was like, okay, so we caught a snake. We sensed a faint presence. A carriage was attacked. The one good thing, we told the dogs. I said thank you. Okay.
That was true. I was like...
We find out about a tip reward. And I guess because of her age, that's why we don't understand money or finances.
I mean, look, she was living in the woods in a cave the whole time. Like, it took her a while to understand. But she got a system going with these field mice, okay?
At least she know math. Adding up how many field mice something is and how much a snake is.
I need to find that. I need to just get an image of that of like her breaking down the math.
You know what? We can find the image and I'll post it on Instagram. Okay. And then the real kicker comes. And I should have known. I said, oh no, not again. Even more bags. We start looking. She found some old versions of some magic bags. And I was like, oh my gosh. She's trying to figure out what magic bags can hold what magic bags. She starts saying this one can hold one, this can hold two.
This one can hold three.
And this one can't hold any. So we finding some of these old shabby magic bags. We already got enough anyway. Yes. And then we go back. Go back to the town hall.
Well, no, hold on. In that moment, we found out some other information about the potions that Sora can have.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Sora start drinking some red potions.
But and it
can purple potions.
No, it can do purple potions if it's a red one and a blue one.
That's
together.
what I'm saying. But not the original purple.
Right.
If they combine colors, they'll drink it. And so anyway, we go back to town hall.
Yes.
To collect our reward, I guess. And then we ain't organized. I said, look at you. Don't even know where things are because you got all these magic bags. And then she got to pull magic bag out there just to find a piece of paper. Like, put these magic bags up. Like, you can't have one this one.
No,
it was too much.
That you're just like, enough of the bags. But then the lady was like, hey, afterwards, like, Ivy was cool. Like, yeah, thank you. And the lady was like, wait, you need to clean this up.
Right. All these magic bags. So then we get all that money, and you already know. I just put it down. You already know this money gonna get stolen. Like,
it wasn't, though.
We don't know that yet. We do not know that yet.
Look, Justin.
She spent some money. We do not know if the rest of this money ain't gonna get. It almost happened.
It's in the magic bag.
Exactly. So you saw that. Case in point, episode 5. We go ahead. We meet a possible rare creature. We call it Selly or Seal. Sora heals it. Cool. And I was saying, oh my gosh, we getting accused and roughed up by some hoodlums. They wanted that tent.
It was a nice
tent. And you see when they grabbed it, that one girl, sorceress, she's like, and what's with all these magic bags? That's what I'm talking about. She's about to take that bag that got that money in it. It's going to get taken eventually because she got all these magic bags. Put them under your cloak. Stop showing off. You got all these magic bags. And then I said, okay, 2 of them got away. You know they're going to cause trouble again down the road.
Right.
Those are my notes for this Weakest Tamer.
I'm just enjoying the show. Sure. I love your rant about the magic. I knew immediately. I was like, Justin is living with all these. Justin's like, just like that one, but Bisco's like, too much crab time. Justin's like, too much magic bag time.
She got way too many magic bags.
Did you count how many bags she has?
I'm not going to give her the satisfaction. Tell you that much.
You don't have a number by next time. I don't even know what you playing.
Do you have any other thoughts on the Weakest Tamer?
I think it's good that we're becoming friends with the town guards in a way. Sure. Like Ogito and the other people. I think
he on the cover. He on the art.
He is. And
I was like, oh, maybe he's one of the people we're going to learn to trust.
Right, to tell our story. So one can only hope, because he's right next to the old lady. Strong. Right. So we'll see. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen next. Is this going to be the place where she, sets up camp? Is she going to leave? Who knows? My question is, is Seal going to start traveling with us?
Here's my question, and I don't think she got the courage.
Okay.
Because we don't know what this no star thing means.
That's true.
I wanted her to try, like, it's like she's already given up. Because of how her talent has been taught, there's no even an attempt on trying to form a pack. I would like her to try to tame Seal. Mm-hmm. Like, clearly interested, you know, they're like, yeah, you saved me, cool. You know, like, I would like, just attempt it. Yeah, just try.
Oh, but then I was wondering, going back to the other Tamer show, I was like, and I feel like that's a recurring theme amongst the other Tamers, is like, once you name it and it responds to it.
Right, that's it.
Right, and I was like, it seems like Seal comes out.
But I didn't see like a symbol on his hand.
I didn't either.
We're also in town. He went back to the woods.
Right. I mean, but at the same time, he's considered a dangerous creature that people are afraid of, right?
Sure.
So, I don't know. But I agree. I would like for her to take some type of initiative. It would be great if she had that as her travel companion.
We'll have some muscle.
We really would have some muscle that we
wouldn't get taken out by trees again. I know, she ate. Anyway. What else is you going to say?
No, that's all I got. So just enjoying the show. It's cool.
Okay.
All right. Next show. Let's talk about Sasaki and Peeps.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so Justin, you put me onto this show, and I have to say, this show is probably one of my favorite shows of the season. And it came out of nowhere, and there are some people in the comments who are just like, this is too much everything. I think it's great. It's like everything that one needed and more all at once. I love everything about this show.
It is underrated. I love when a show is a under the radar power show.
This is definitely a power show.
It does not start off that way.
It doesn't.
But yes, I have watched episode 1 through 3.
Yeah.
The last time we recorded, and I was all involved, and now I'm caught up. So, what is your take, starting from the beginning? And how do you care for Sasaki and Peeps? I figure you're a fan of when people do the currency to real world.
I do like that. I love how there's a lot of different stories going on. I love how Sasaki is basically leading 3 lives, right? And doing his best to juggle it, because he's got the life in every day where he's an office worker at this trade company. Sure. And then he's like trying to have like a slow-paced life of ease in the other world with Peeps. Right. And then because of that world with Peeps, he learns magic, and then he finds out in his actual world there are people who do have powers, but he had no idea about it. And now he's psychic. Now he's just like, I'm not really a psychic, but I'm not trying to get caught up either. So he was like, just one thing. So it's another. So then he's having to juggle that in addition to everything else.
Are you under the impression he still works for that original company?
At first I wasn't sure. It took me a second. Like in the first 2 episodes, I was like, he was still going back and forth. But now that I'm caught up, because this show was also a show, I think. This one went up to 6, right?
Yeah, it's at 6. It's caught up.
So I was like, I'm caught up with this one. But this one, it didn't get to like episode 4 for me that really said like, oh, he's not at the other company.
Right, because I take it like that. The lady was like, oh, we'll handle, like our company will handle everything.
Right, so I wasn't sure. I didn't know when it happened, but in the beginning he was handling all 3 at once. And so I'm like, okay. But now it's kind of just like the other 2. But then another thing comes up later where there's like magical girls, and that's like in addition to like the psychics. So I'm just like, you're still trying to, I don't know. I just love it. I love how he's like catching everyone off guard with just by being like a chatterbox and asking like basic questions that like derails everything. 100%. They're just like, how many powers do you have? He was like, wait, what's your organization? And they're like, you don't know me? He was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. It's weird. So but I think I love the way that he does it. Peep is like a real one and does not care. Like, Peep gets what Peep wants.
Star Mage.
And it's a Star Mage. Not shy about it. So I'm loving everything with Peep. I love how Peep is like our consultant, our confidant, And nothing goes unless we get the Peep approval for any and everything.
I never trusted that butler when I first seen him.
100%. He can go in the book. Viscount.
Not against it.
Viscount Muller, he's great. He's a true mastermind. I love it.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
At all. I was like, oh my gosh. Because I was like, he's a good character. I was like, this is actually a good ally to have. We trusted him with information and stuff. And I was like, no, they killed him. I was shocked. I was like, do I want to keep watching this show? And I was like, yes, I do. Because like once Elsa came on the scene, I was like, I don't know. Sidebar, speaking of Elsa, how do you feel about the ending? Because like the ending, with them just being big,
like claymation,
and their heads
she
are
making
huge.
a pie.
It's huge. It's crazy.
I have no comments. Like, it's not like that song is hitting. So
no, I was just like thrown off by it. I was just like, man, this is just.
I mean, it was different.
It was definitely different. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
So I'm pretty sure my thing is just like very nonchalant, but it's just like we gotta talk to that girl. Like that the neighbor, she wants to talk. Like something is going on. Like,
I thought she was a magical girl at first, or I thought she was a psychic at first.
Sure.
But I was like,
hey, we don't know anything.
We don't
because we haven't talked to her.
Absolutely, because she's there every night. And
like sometimes she's sitting out there. It's late at night. Like, come on. Like,
what's going on?
We need to be able to talk to her. We don't know if she's in trouble. We don't know what's going on. Yeah, we need to talk to this person.
Definitely need to talk to this person. I thought it was crazy that Hoshizaki is 16. I was like, because he was like, she wearing a lot of makeup. And then I was like, what? I was like, why is that? All right. And then we find out why. She was like, well, I'm young. She's like, I'm 16. So I have to like dress this way so people take me seriously. I was like, what? This is crazy. Their boss, their superior, he's a hot mess, but that's fine.
Is he ratchet?
He's getting there. After that, after the sour plum thing, I was like, in the camera.
The cameras.
I was like, he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. The magical pink girl, she's interesting. Like, she was like, yeah, I was scrounging around for food, because that's what he was saying. He was like, yeah, I saw her scrounging around my apartment.
Listen, what choice did she have? We find out Psychics killed her parents.
And then she killed the fairy, and I was like, who's this fairy?
She don't want to be a magical girl.
I know, and she was like, this is what we're doing. But now we know there's like 7 magical girls across the world. This is Japan's.
I like that one villain like wants to join the organization.
Oh yeah, Shizuka, she's great.
Yeah.
We don't know how old she is. Apparently it's in the triple digits.
Yeah, really old. Introduced us to pickled plums.
Like true pickled plums. She's the real one.
But she wants to join the bureau, and I'm like, yes, we need more assistance.
We do.
Like, I'm okay with this completely.
Because she an A-rank psychic. Now we're learning about psychic ranks, and Sasaki's an F, which makes sense because he's new. I'm curious to know what Hoshizaki's is. No, but I'm loving everything about this show. So much is happening. Everything from him being like selling goods from the modern day to the other world. Like he's got his little monopoly going. He's just like, hey, I'll just be working with you directly. I'm
a fan of Frenchie.
Yeah, French is great. French is great.
I am waiting for the payout for when we have the monetary gain in the real world. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, we kind of had that the last episode where they said, hey, we're going to bring you stuff. Can you use your trade partners to make this happen? So yeah. I'm waiting for that payout. That's Absolutely. What I can't wait to see.
Same. I like Mark. Mark's a good person of the trading company. Don't have a problem with him. Yeah, the world's just growing. There's a lot happening. It's a 12er, so I don't know what's gonna happen. We halfway there.
Who's that girl who was fighting Peeps?
100%. No one said anything. But it was on immediately.
Right.
And people's like, sorry I dropped you. Didn't talk about it, didn't pick it back up. Maybe they were hanging. Yeah.
So yeah, we need answers there.
But, we definitely need answers there.
I love the show. Yeah,
it's a good show. I'm enjoying this show. I want him to keep the title of Magical Man. I think that's great.
He's a magical man.
I love how the magic girl bought it. She was just like, all right, I believe you.
I mean, it's common sense. He ain't a girl, so he ain't no magic. He a magical man.
Because she was like, "Are you a psychic?" And he was like, "No." She was like, "Then why are you hanging around with psychics?" She was like, "I don't really know him. I kind of know him." It was great. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that one kid, the one that they're trying to recruit, the one with fired, do you think he's gonna join or?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I think they men in black them and wiped his memory or something. Like they just took him in. Like I don't know what's about to happen to him.
I mean, they were supposed to be recruiting people.
Maybe we'll never see that kid again.
Maybe that could be it too. I wonder if we're gonna meet any other magical girls. That is I am curious. I wonder if the people in the bureau will ever learn about his other powers besides Shizuzuki.
None of their business.
Well, okay, my other question is, do you think the supervisor knows that he's, like, leaving a little bit of information out? Because he's been like, all right, I'll choose to believe this story. It's like always he's saying, like, something beyond, like, all right, I accept what you're saying now.
Yes, I don't think he believes in how things are being reported. Yes. Okay.
But he has also been, like, promoted twice.
Right.
In, like, a few weeks, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, loving Sasaki and Peeps. This is a good show. It's great.
The Witch and the Beast.
Yes.
Like the show, had to get caught up.
Yeah.
I'm immediately, per usual, confused.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
How are you pronouncing it?
Godot.
Godot.
And
okay.
Ashaf. Godot's a loudmouth.
I'm good with Ashaf. No, I know Godot is blonde, rash. Reminds me of Bakugo, Renji, Asta.
Just yelling all the time.
Now the question becomes: is Godot? What is Godot's curse? Because
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is Godot's curse like turning into that fighting machine, or is it the fact that Godot's in a like the body that they're in now isn't their body?
Right.
So
I think Godot technically isn't a female.
Right.
I think Godot is a man who's been cursed and put in a female's body.
But then also I don't know. Like there's so much.
I know. I need answers because
definitely need answers.
That body that's being carried in that coffin is sick.
It means business.
Cool.
Business.
This thing is a weapon of great proportions. And then I was just watching the show. Like episode 2, I was just like, it worked out in 2 ways because I was like, forget this old witch. Like the next stand for something else. So I was like, great. But we started, we team up with some, this mage detective.
Yeah.
Get some information, kind of find out, it's, her kids and her teacher boyfriend was killed.
Oh my goodness.
The witch is like, it's going down in 3 days, like, at this police station. I said, all right, cool. And then kind of find out it was the 2 sons. And once we saw the sons, I was just like, how are these her sons?
But we found out they're adopted.
And they apparently are in love with her. But, like, she did what she had to do. Like, she was like, first of all, I don't even remember even getting those grimoires.
Right.
Like, she don't know how they got there. Apparently, once you even touch the grimoire, it's over. Like, it's activated. Like, you gotta do the sacrifice it needs. And I like where this is going, only because... like episode 4, I was like, we're meeting more of our associates.
But not really, because it's like, because I got, so like in the first episode, because like in the first episode, because I'm still trying to find out what's going on. Because like in the first episode, they give us a bit of background about like what Godot's like purpose is, right? They're like, I'm trying to hunt down the witch that put the curse on me, and I don't know who it is, right? But then we learn that there aren't that many witches due to like lineages and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay. So then they meet the first witch, and the witch was like, no, I don't even know you. Like, I have no idea. Right? But then they're just like, but then the shop's like, hey, we only reprimand witches that are, like, causing harm to people that are, like, bad witches, right?
Right.
But Godot came off of saying, like, she hates all witches. But then, like you said in episode 4, in the next episode 5, we're meeting like people that are also part of like the Order of Magic and stuff. But we don't ever see like Godot and Ashav like engage directly with those two. But
I think it's just Godot.
Right. Well, I know. I'm just saying it's just Godot. But I'm just saying, like you're saying colleagues. But I was like, how does Godot know that there's like a witch among them working with him? And if so, has Godot asked this one? Right. I was like, I don't know.
See, and that's like, I'm like, Ashav clearly knows. That's why he was like, hey, you need to prepare this, and this. So, like, and Ashav seems like, I mean, he is the organization.
He is the organization.
So, and that's why I said associates, So,
it was just making me wonder. I love Johan. Johan's that guy.
Oh, Johan's great.
He's great. I
wasn't feeling Fenora
in the beginning,
first,
but
she is a necromancer and a witch.
No, like at the end, that fight.
Oh, the fight when she summoned them the Death Knights.
With the quickness, I was like,
some of the Death Knights are real cool. I was like, okay. So,
I was like, it's on.
I wanted to see what they were gonna do with this fool because like he thought he had all the cards. He was like. That Mark, he was like, how could I have been like so dumb? Or how could I let this happen? Johan's been dead all along, which I kind of had a feeling. Like as soon as like when someone's introduced as a necromancer, I was like, if there's a buddy with him, I'm just thinking like Shaman King and Faust. Like if someone's with them, they're the one who was brought back.
Right, but then also the fact that she was like, nah, he fine. And then they were like, he don't look fine. Like, they're all jumping him. This is like 40's off.
Yo, that big guy came in and was like
I'm
helping him fight. Where was he at?
He went home to his family.
I was waiting for like, when they said, can you get rid of your listening devices? I was like, man, now the big guy can't hear him. I was waiting for like the ambush.
Right.
But no, he wasn't involved at all.
Never came.
But I like how they do their like this show.
Yeah.
Is like, well, I mean, ideally it should even out the next time we record.
Yeah.
Because this show, it seems like their episodes are in twos. Because it says opening act, final act.
Yes.
Because
and the intro changes for each one. I don't know if you
really.
It does. So like in the first two, like in the first 2 episodes, you should watch it because it's like the twins, like the 2 boys, they showed up in the intro for that one, like during their little saga or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then for the next one, it was showing like some of the redheads and stuff in the intro. But then the ending, so I think it's really interesting. The ending, the intro and the ending, they have like the 3 witches, like the 3 pillars.
Yeah, those 3 things.
Right, and I was like, have we met all the witches? But then as it goes to the end, it's like each witch is like turning into the other witch, like their face is changing. And so I was like, are they trying to like foreshadow?
What are they telling us?
What are they telling us? But no, definitely
watch
the intro just to see, like, just for so you can see. But it's giving us those hints. But yeah, so then we're in the next segment. We meet another witch. Who has a demon sword. That was a whole nother thing.
And we get introduced to the Paladin Corps. Like, we heard about them the last series, but...
They were in the intro the whole time, and I was like, who are these people?
Right.
We need answers. Why do they all have these little masks on the front of, like, the top part of their face? But I did not trust the priest that was there giving him advice.
Oh yeah, from the church.
Yeah, from the church. Don't know him. Don't know his name.
Hey, they don't trust him.
They
said keep an eye on him.
He was like, "Can you give us some useful information?" But no. So they're trying to hunt down the witch Helga. And then Ashav finds out later on. He was like, "Hey, we're actually supposed to. Our job is to actually like protect this witch from being captured by the Paladin Corps or whatever." Right. And then when Ashav sees the marking on her face, and he was like, "Oh, we have a problem." And Godot's like, "Nah, there's not a problem." He was like, "No, there's a problem." And we find out that she's from the lineage of witches, where it's like they actually have the power to destroy the world.
No, that's because of the demon sword.
Well, yeah, but it's like that's specifically passed down in that lineage. But then we find out that she took it from the other.
Because at first he thought it was going to be easy to capture her because he knew the marking, because they're normally the weakest of the witches.
Right.
But it's like you said, because they have that demon sword, that changes the game. And this demon sword, Ashgon, is talking, and it was like, go with him, and it'll make it interesting. But she hard-headed, and now, now she done ran into this ice dude.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, this is a horrible way to end this. So, like, I can't wait for next week, but I am interested in the show, as you said it. So, yeah.
It's a good show. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it, how it's laying out.
How many episodes is this one?
This one is also a 12er.
Really?
I feel like this show has the potential to have a season 2, depending on where we leave off. Depending on, like, how they...
This screams to me signs of, like... It's like Trigun meets D. Gray Man. Like, I want a bunch of it. Like, I want, like, a 54...
It could.
Like a 20,
the stories could keep going, in all honesty. I feel like it really
I read somewhere that D. Gray Man was going to start picking back up.
I mean, it's about time, and of course that makes sense. It's great.
It's great.
It's great. But no, I agree. I love The Witch and the Beast. Can't wait to see what happens next week.
Alright, you're going.
Alright, let's see. Let's go with The Unwanted Undead Adventurer.
Okay.
Glad you suggested this show. Because I am a fan. Okay. I was not expecting this. Just everything about the delivery and how it's shaping up. I was like, look at this show. This is great. I was like, this is a good show.
So I wanted to tell you about it, or when I texted you about it, it was only watching several minutes of episode 1. Okay. That's all it took. Because I was like, I just thinking to myself, like, this is the other side of adventuring.
It is. It really is.
You don't hear all that. Like, it's been 10 years. He works alone because he isn't really good at it.
But he knows that. And he's not trying to hold anyone back or hold him down. I think that's great.
But, but guess what? He does it because he needs to make a living.
And he has it's an honest living. He has a savings. He has an emergency fund. I love it. He's a well-rounded, knowledgeable adventurer, and I think that's how he's been able to make it this far with having the respect from his peers, even though if they know that he's like the weakest person. But yeah, right away I felt so bad. I was like, man, it gave me Solo leveling vibes immediately, just from like the dragon scene. I was like,
the death.
I was like, please no. I was like, why do we characters who know where they stand, why do they have to keep encountering these strong people that they know they have no business like engaging with? I felt so bad. Yeah,
he could have turned back. He could have reported the new find.
It's true. He said I got greedy.
Yeah, I put down like I said. He could turn back, report the new find to the guild, get rewarded, anime ends. Like that's it. Like then they could have used that time to switch over to another characters that are exploring the new part of the dungeon, and that's all we need. But no. You wanna keep going even though you're not that strong, and then we meet that dragon. And they did a different take on what a dragon looked like.
Absolutely, 100%. I was like, what is this? I thought it was a demigod. I didn't know what it was. But that's a dragon.
Then we got turned into a skeleton.
He died. And that's basically what happened. He became an undead.
And then, after enough, at least he kept that mindset. But with enough... what do they call it? Essential evolution is what we started to remember talking to.
I like that because, like you said, this is the other side of adventuring, and it's from I feel like this show, and then also, even though you're not a fan of Fluffy Paradise, I feel like they're taking that approach about like, hey, monsters do evolve, and like, what's that process, and what does that look like? That might mean they turn into something totally new, or it could just be something that we're all aware of. But the fact that his friend was teaching him about like, hey, it's still not proven and stuff like that. He was like, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm here. I'm gonna make the best of this situation. Because he's only been down there for like not very long.
Right.
And he was able to evolve after like taking on numerous skeleton and slimes, and that's how he became his next state. So I was like, wow. I was like, how far can we continue to go? I was just very impressed.
But yeah, I mean, just to speed it up to more current, you know, we go ahead, per usual, it seems when it becomes a monster, you know, his strength, his mana, his divinity, they all increase.
Yep.
We meet Ragna, a newbie adventurer.
She's great. I don't have anything against her. She was helpful. I don't have nothing against her.
She gets us clothes and a mask. For some reason, the mask is cursed.
That was a whole thing.
Don't know why. You know, we finally get back. Lorraine is as sharp as ever. She's like, what happened? Like, you know, and then we get a little bit of Lorraine backstory. She's like the youngest grade doctor. Mm-hmm. The blacksmith and that cashier, they know it's
it's him.
But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. You know, and then it gets real. You know, like, again.
It's been real the whole time.
Well, just further real. Like, it's like you said, like, we meet this chef / hey, but it looked like he was just like a farmer.
It was the whole thing. He was like, this is fishy.
He's like, you know, he's down here trying to fight a slime. He needs funds. He's in debt. Like, there's things that's going on in this world, you know, and, you know, we see a teleportation circle. There's a boss room. You know, long story short.
But we found out the teleportation circle is only visible to monsters.
Right.
Because he was like, the chef was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? But yeah. So
I thought he was low down a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Rick took him there to the place.
Yeah.
To the unexplored dungeon. And he was like, oh, he didn't show up. And I was just like, so if he did, he would die? Like, you're just bringing this guy here? And then the guy said the same thing. Hey, we can make a fortune reporting this to the guild. I'm like, yes. Like, let's do that. Because if you think about it, no one else is going to be able to see the teleportation circle.
Yeah, so
why not let the guild know about the new area? We get paid. Win for everybody.
Right.
But, we get a connection, mm-hmm. You know, now we can eat at this restaurant, you know, whenever we want.
Whenever we want.
Save the owner's life.
Apparently that wasn't enough, but that's fine.
Right. And then Lorraine comes up with the bright idea of let's get re-registered. Because, yeah, like, hello, if you still want to become a mithril.
That's true. We're breaking down the levels,
you
right?
You still need to take on tasks. You can't keep telling, you know,
people
Lorraine or the restaurant dude to cash in. And then I was like, this dumb fool used his same first name.
He did, but then no one put two and two together except for the blacksmith and his wife. Because I was like, when is the guild going to put two and two together?
Well, I mean, toward the end, or episode 60, it seemed like something's going down. Yeah. But I was like, who is this mysterious strong elf?
Yeah.
Don't know what that's about. And then we find out the guild can be cruel and tricky. And then, but it's for your own sake. You know, they're trying to make you better adventurers.
Yep.
Before you go out here in this world. And then they just leave it to this huge plot twist about, there's this criminal, and I was like, what's this incident even about? You know, like, they're like, he's like, hey, that new guy you're helping people think he's the criminal, so we need to keep an eye on him. And I'm like, criminal what? You know,
like, what do you mean?
We need answers.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying the show a lot. I like how he's learning more about how to use the mask and how he can change it and stuff.
Right.
Depending on the situation, he's been practicing how to speak. You know, I just wonder what his next evolution form is going to be from, because now he was a skeleton, Then he's a ghoul, so I wonder what's next. And
now he's a ghast, I think.
I think he's a ghast, and then...
And now we're trying to become a vampire.
Something. Trying to get as close as human as possible. Well, no, I think ghast is next.
Ghast is that's what we're aiming for.
That's what we're aiming for, because that's supposed to be like a servant of a lesser vampire or something. But yeah, so I'm rooting for him. I really am. So yeah, I'm excited for the show, and we'll see what happens, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts about
No.
All right, your pick.
Let's see here. I mean, I like it, but the strongest tank, Labyrinth raids, a tank with a rare 9,999 resistance skill got kicked out of the hero's party.
Can't stand the hero. You were right. Can't stand him.
Sure,
He has an awful name. I'm enjoying this show. I feel like Marius is already a problem, but he's a real one though.
Oh, love Marius.
At first I was like, what's going on with this guy? But I was like, he's great. I don't know who that one kid is, who's the sub leader of the Black Dragon.
Oh, he's trash.
He's the worst. Can't stand Boo.
Boo's a loser.
I mean, Gary's pushing it, but Gary can be right up there.
I guess we have a rare slime.
Yes.
I'm hoping that slime came with us.
One can only hope. But once again, this is also giving us some more behind the scenes of like dungeons and how they work. And dungeons have to be managed.
Oh yeah, managing a dungeon.
It takes work. It's a whole thing. So apparently, if you don't maintain a dungeon, the lord of the place will be all like, "Hey, let's just defeat it, get to the lowest floor, and we're done, and it's out of here." Yeah, I will say with this show, I loved it. We've reached our goal in the first couple episodes. They defeated Marius, and he was like, "Hey, you got the stone that grants me my wish?" He was like, "Yeah, you talking about this? Here you go." I guess this is the sister's disease or illness isn't. I guess it'll take more than just one stone.
Right. It hasn't been cured.
I think, but it's almost there.
I think subsided.
Right. I think the second time we get it, she'll be good. So yeah, we're learning more about dungeons behind the scenes. I love how Marius is like, "Hey, there's another sentient lord of another dungeon," and I was like, "But that dungeon has like 50 floors plus." But no, I'm enjoying this show. I hate how in the town that we're in, how the knights, what did she say? Like the sister was like, yeah, they're just like the youngsters who didn't want to go to the city, but they can't really fight except for field. So I'm like, so great. We have kids who can't fight, who are defending the town. Right. Got it.
Love when that happens.
I love how his name is Rud, which is crazy, or right. Rudo, or whatever. Rud. Rude. Right. How he's like, now he has to be like the clan leader. Right. It's like, he's like, I don't want to do any of this, but you know what? We're doing it. I was curious though about this homunculi situation with Luna, because at first when we saw like the magic stones, I was wondering, I was like, oh my gosh, what if someone's doing like illegal experiments in the forest and turning these homunculi into monsters? That's why the stones look the same. I was like, I don't know, but then I was like, no, the dungeon, because it came to later. So I'm just curious about Luna's backstory.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just waiting for us to prove both of the guilds wrong. It seems like the guild leaders are fine with it. They're just like, hey, he's fine. It's whatever. But it's like their sub-leaders are just like, of course now, we invited them for this. And I'm like, there's obviously...
Yeah, they're like, who is this guy?
And the leaders are like, let him do what he wants. We'll see what happens.
Some people's like, don't you know we're absorbing their clan? Like...
And he was like, who's saying that? Shoot, like the priest... The priest or the holy knight that came with us, like, he's great. Like, I hope he comes back later. He was reliable because he was just like, hey, you want us to retreat because of me? Don't worry, like, I can pull it together.
He wasn't too bad. We don't need him though. We have Marius now.
We do have Marius now. I'm just saying, like when it comes over him versus the hero, because now he's the ex-hero apparently, which was very important to note. Yeah, I would choose him over the ex-hero. Yeah, but no, I'm enjoying the show. It's a good pick.
Okay.
All right, Sengoku.
Sure. How do you like it?
It took me a minute to get into the show.
Okay.
It took a minute because I was like, who are these kids? What are they doing? What's going on with the staff? But I enjoyed the staff now because I'm just like, this is a pretty powerful staff. I like it. I think when it got to like the third episode, I was like, okay, we're learning more about like who these kids are, like what's their connection. Right. I love how they're calling themselves like the siblings of world reformation. I can't stand Shinsuke. Like he can't do anything. He's not helpful. Why is he here? It's true he's not. I just don't know. But we're learning more. I feel like I like the setup because it's like kind of like the Buddhists, like the monks are the ones that are like causing trouble.
Yeah.
And you normally don't see that. I haven't seen that, but they're just like, no, we're fighter monks. And I was like, what? And they're just like doing experiments, kidnapping people, doing whatever they want. And it's just like, wow, okay. But no, so I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying it so far. I like Shikaku. We're learning more about the spirits of like the what do they call them? The Katawada, like how like there's the spirits emerging. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm excited about the show. I feel like some things are gonna happen. I don't have much hopes for Shinsuke.
Sure.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I'm intrigued. Especially after we got the backstory
of Jinka.
Right.
That was crazy. I was like, why they do that to that kind person? I was like, oh my gosh.
Because they didn't understand it.
I mean, Yazin can get in that book. The
and then like the old man's like, you know, basically like come and find me if you wanna do something. You know, like I feel like there's something there. I'm not against it, like back burner.
Yeah, I'm okay with this show being a back burner for sure. Because
I'm just like, we'll see. Like I could, like, see, like nothing over the top. I watch it. I'm like, all right. So I got to see how the rest of it plays out. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like it's like Delicious in Dungeon, but a little different. Like,
okay.
Like I like Delicious in Dungeon.
Right.
And like
this show's gonna have 37 episodes.
It has 37?
It's gonna have 37 episodes.
Sengoku?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, well this definitely being backburner.
Okay.
Well, who knows? Maybe after this
maybe after 15 it'll right. Even more.
Maybe it's like Orient, where it's building the world.
It is. Maybe that's what it is.
And then it'll just be like good, like really good.
Because Orient had a lot of non-believers.
Oh, not this guy. I could tell.
Look, I was with you the whole time. Okay, I was with you the whole time.
So we'll see about this Sengoku. But like Delicious in Dungeon, like I like watching it. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to talk about it. Other times is that like as I'm watching it, right? I was like, okay, cool. Like I don't know if Shinshi is ratchet or not.
I feel like I wouldn't call him that, but somewhere along that vein, because it's like at all
like
costs.
He has 3 golems to harvest vegetables. And then he also maintains the restrooms in the dungeon.
Here it is. See, that's what I mean. The other side of adventuring. Like, who do you think is maintaining these dungeons? Because, like, he even said it to Marcia. She works my nerves. He was like, what do you mean? He was like, who else is going to clean out the skeletons that fall into the toilets? And she was like, huh? He was like, that doesn't just magically happen.
Right. You know, and then, like, just like save points, I guess. Like, there's a shady-looking bar inside the dungeon.
Right.
You know, orcs raided it. You know, they had stuff to do. And then we learned, like, the orcs know Shinshi.
And he was like, you grew those vegetables? He was like, yeah. He was like, we're taking them. He was like, what?
And then, you know, like, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to meet him. Like, we made Kabaru in his party. And I'm like, cool. You know, and they found some treasure.
But then they died. My thing, I was like, is this their first death? I was like, in this one, they die, right? But they can come back? Because he in the intro.
Right.
So I was like, is this that moment?
It definitely looked like the party was defeated.
Yes,
and then you can get revived or healed. It's got to be revived.
I hope so. Because they were hyping that party up.
Right. They were. They're like, you guys are the only ones who haven't been really affected by this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we meet some treasure bugs, you know. And then, like, they gonna kill that man Shinshi one of these days. Like, he separated them as non-edible and edible. And you just think, like, okay, cool. You know, like, some bugs are eatable.
Some aren't.
Some are poisonous. Right. And as they're dropping it, he was like, yeah, you can't eat real jewels. Like, they couldn't believe that this fool didn't tell them. And so, you know, like...
It was wild.
But then that same episode, he made holy water. So it's just like... I was like, what am I watching? But then, like, episode 6, I'm just like, the only thing I took away from it was, like, those darn mimics. You know, like, that's it. And then we ate a mimic, because a mimic is basically a crab. And so, like, I watch the Lessons and Dungeons. That's, you know, I just watch it. Like, it's a good watch.
I just watch it, too. That's it. I mean, I don't know if we ever gonna save the sister, but... Who knows?
I'm confused because, like, you would think we got to get down there
quickly,
immediately.
But we're not. We're taking every detour possible. So yeah. So I'm enjoying it. I just watch it to watch. It's just a good show for laughs. Yeah,
it's funny stuff.
Good show. The wrong way to use healing magic.
Love this show.
Oh, absolutely. This is a good show. All right, what were your takes on this one?
Let's see here. I thought it was funny how the demons called the healing unit kidnappers. And we find out that they are making the 72nd version of that snake that we went ahead and already defeated.
Right.
There is a Black Knight. And
it was a little blasé with everything. He's just like, all right, let's just do it. Let's get it up.
Whatever.
He's like, let's just do it. And the other one's like, why are you like this?
Then we get, you know, like we get a classic episode. You know, we got the field training with how do you pronounce her name? Sunane?
Yeah, Suzune, yeah.
But you know, it's a I don't even want to call it an anime classic. It's just a life classic. You know, that happens in animes, movies, everything, where the two get separated from the group.
Yeah.
They usually fall down a waterfall.
Yep.
And then they gotta like make it through the night. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they find food.
Sometimes they don't.
Right. You know, it's always usually a cave. You know, like it was a classic. And then after that, you know,
Luden found them. The bear found them. Yeah.
We got episode 6 we got a partial Rose backstory. Only partial.
Yep, just a little bit.
You know, Rhodes is the fastest, so she's also the scout.
Yep, he was like, "I'm sorry to ask you to do this." She's like, "No, I'm the fastest legs in the country."
You know, so Rose sees.
It was great. She was like, "Bro."
She finds the enemy. They almost done building the bridge. They were like, "It's only gonna be a couple more hours." And Rose destroyed that whole bridge.
What a what? It was like
with a log. Or a tree?
It was a tree, and it was like, who did that? And then she saw Rose peering over, and then just like smirking and running away.
Ran away with her fast legs.
She was like, bro. And I was like, cool, they know each other. Got it.
Right. Like, sweet. Rose forward their plans.
Literally, and left. She was like, yeah, I'll give us a couple of days.
So yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, it's a good show. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that was worth noting? Well, the siblings, what do you think about, do you think the siblings, the other healers,
yeah,
do you think they're gonna be, are they gonna also be participating on the battlefield?
Yeah, in the very far back.
Okay.
Healing people.
It's in the very far back.
Yeah, that's about it. He was a part of one war. She wasn't.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And what did you think about that girl who, the little fox girl?
Oh, that showed us the future or something?
And didn't even ask us and then left. I was like, who is this person?
She couldn't bear all that responsibility.
But we don't even know her.
Hey, well now we know. So we're going to see what that fool does with this information.
We still don't know. We still don't know who this is or what she's doing.
Listen,
that's crazy.
We're going to see. Is he going to tell Rose or what?
I mean, he better tell somebody.
So yeah. That's all I got to say about that. But, no, I think these last few episodes was the build up right before this war, so it's about to go down. That's how I'm looking at it.
Well, I guess my last question is: do you feel like his senpai, Suzune and Kazuki, do you feel like they'll actually contribute or actually have a real good have a proper impact on the war, or do you feel like they're going to be a hindrance?
No, they got real hero powers.
Well, I mean, but they don't have war experience.
That's fine.
Oh, okay. All right, Justin, that's fine. All right, it's your pick. Next show.
I'm just going backwards in my book. Well, maybe I shouldn't do it like that. Let's see here. Because I got MASH, I got Shangri-La,
yep.
I got Ragna,
yep.
I got One Piece,
Solo.
Oh
we got Fire.
Farron. Oh my gosh.
Well, I thought we were talking about Farron later.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just going through all my things. A lot of these quote unquote are continuous. I guess my Villain's Day Off, Mr. Villain's Day Off.
All right. I love this. I think this show, just like with Delicious in Dungeon, I'm just watching it to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying it. I'm along for the ride.
Sure.
I love the moments with the tree where you put your wishes on the tree, and how Blue was like, I hope Pink gets my sickness even a little bit, but not as bad. I was like, what is going on? I'm just enjoying the random antics that are on this show.
I enjoy the life lessons. Mm-hmm. He impacted lives when he was like, you need to reward yourself after work.
I know, yeah, inspiring that young man.
Start having desserts. There was a panda fair. He was cleaning up at that fair.
He really was.
He had to buy items.
With the punch card and everything. He had to make a tough decision about which item he wanted to take home for his prize.
Then we introduced the trigger.
Right. But I love it how he was like, hey, if you see me outside of work, don't talk to me. And Trigger was like, I would never talk to you. He was like, but don't talk to me. I'm not going to know you. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the random antics of this show. It's great. I'm glad we didn't have to see much Rooney. I feel like whenever Rooney's there, it's like a recipe for disaster.
I want to see the black one, the Black Ranger.
Yeah, the Black Ranger looks pretty cool.
He seems the strongest.
He seems the strongest and the most level-headed out of all of them. Because the other ones are just menaces. I just don't know.
Yeah, especially the green ones.
The green ones are always up to something. Yeah, they bully Red. It's a whole thing. I feel bad for them. But yeah, so I enjoy Mr. Villain's Day Off. Reminds us all to, enjoy your days off.
There you
go. All right. Do you want to go with Solo Leveling before we go into the continuing?
Sure.
All right. Man, this show, every episode, like, this is only a 12er, which I'm a little disappointed about, but...
Oh, this thing must have several seasons then.
It should. If Sengoku's out here having 37, this should easily have, like, another season. Where to begin? I mean, I don't want to jump, but I probably am.
Okay.
Put that whole party, except for, like, our main character, and what's that young man's name?
Jinho?
Yeah, those two are fine, but everyone else, put them in the book. They were the absolute worst. Oh. They're just like, because, we were warned about these.
We were warned about
these type of, like,
these shenanigans.
These people who will, like, build parties, and, they'll just, like, trick newbies or, like, weaker people to join in their party just for them to, like, abandon them and stuff like that. So I was just like, no, this isn't going to happen to us. But it happened to us. But, in that moment, Jin was like, you know what? He was like, nothing's holding me back now. And I was like, he went there. He took it to the next level. But you can put all those people in the book. I don't even know if we got names for them.
I know the one dude's name, Mr. Dong Suku or
something like that. He was like, don't you know who my brother is? But he didn't want to be compared to his brother the whole time. So I was like, who is his brother? And guess what? We don't care. We don't care who he is.
Right.
Because if he was such a big deal, then you would have, like, stayed around. So figure it out.
So I mean, how it started, we got that key.
Yeah.
We in this this extra dungeon, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus dungeon. Right.
Bonus dungeon. Training dungeon.
I was just like, enough. Like, he clearly was saying, he said, I can tell at the bottom of these stairs that there's something with, like, a menacing, present. Like, I shouldn't go down there. And I'm like, let's not go deeper.
But we have to. We have to clear the thing or we'll never leave.
Hey, he got that stone. And I was just like, we don't, like, that sword is about to break. And as soon as And as soon as we got down the stairs, the sword broke. And I was like, great. And then I was going to ask you, Kia, because, like, I know sometimes this isn't your favorite, but I'm like, Kia, have we become a brute? He killed the snake by choking it, his bare hands. Yeah. Like,
I mean, I don't know if he's a brute. I don't think that's what it is. I think, first and foremost, I was like, how long are we going to keep using this small sword? That was my first thing. Because I was like, if you're going to have I feel like if you're going to have a small sword, that means you need to be able to handle close-up combat.
Right.
And I'm just like, he hasn't exhibited any of that.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, it broke. And I was like, fine with it because I'm just like, well, this is what needs to happen anyway. You need to learn how to throw down without your knife. And so I was just like, this is his moment to learn, like, what his strengths are, what he can physically do, and what he can't. This is not the
moment for that, but yes.
But we found out. So, like, now we need to know, like, how far he can, all the things. He's learning about what he's capable of doing. Now, granted, I wouldn't have did this fight. That snake was no joke. But, after that, he got too cocky, which makes sense. If he took out a snake barehanded and cleared the board, and there's, like, another gate opening, and he just threw a rock. And destroyed the whole thing. Someone was like, oh my gosh, it must have been a C or D rank person.
No. He threw that broken sword at him.
Or something. There it is.
And it shattered the fences of the golem. And I was like, okay.
He just took it out. Just while walking. I was like, that's crazy.
I was like, like we got long hair.
Yeah, he's changing.
And, we look great. And
yeah.
This is when it got real. Like,
that's what, going back to, like, the intro, the cover art, because that's what we asked earlier. We're just like, are these all different people?
Right.
And now we're just like, no, it's all him, just in different stages.
So now I'm curious about whoever that is on that
top
building.
I mean, it has to be somebody bad. He's going to be someone real bad.
Or that's him. He becomes like S-rank or something.
That might be it.
And then, a job, has come up just to meet a quota.
Yep.
And hey, it pays the bills, and they're going to go ahead and give us 2 meals. And I am already suspicious.
Absolutely. There's a contract we have to sign.
Hey, I didn't have a problem with that part. That seemed like it was for legal purposes. I was like, cool.
Well, I mean, that's a problem with it because it's like you're having to sign a contract. We learned that y'all always do these. Y'all do your missions without a healer. I was like, that's suspicious. And it's just like you're okay with any and everybody. You have one new person and a low rank person.
That's how coordinated they are.
Nah, man.
And then we meet Jin Ho, a rookie. I put maybe a future party member.
Possibly.
And yeah, Sung is right. Something is off. And that is a lot of money to do nothing. And then sure enough, they left us to die.
For crystals.
Used us like a lizard leaving his tail, And then they're going to come back and return for those crystals. And all I was thinking was, I was hoping we mined all them crystals before they return.
Absolutely. And he got to work in this.
Then I figured we can afford Mine's operation.
Right.
But then his crew showed back up. And I was like, what? And, they...
immediately thought it was Jin Ho who did it. And he didn't say nothing because he was just stunned. He just stunned that all of this happened. And long story short, they were just like, hey, we're just going to take y'all out.
I like that this system was just like urgent mission.
It was like...
There are 6 hostiles, that want to take your life, and it's got a counter for each one we kill. And I was like, yes, kill them. Kill all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And when the main dude was like begging for his life, he was like, you tried to kill me 3 times now. And now you want mercy? I was like, finish him.
He was like, aren't you the one who said what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon? And then at the very end, he was like, don't you know who my brother is? And we're just like, no.
Start spinning the facts.
Like, we don't know him. We don't care. And then immediately, Jinwoo was like, all right, Aniki, we'll do whatever you want. Let's just get out of here. And he never said a word to nobody afterwards about what happened. They cleared it. The gate closed. Like, they were able to leave. Business as usual.
Yeah.
And they went their separate ways. But then I wondered, did they both actually still get paid the full amount?
That's
like for everybody, since it's just those 2? Or is that lady going to jip him and be all like, oh, it's clear that you didn't do anything, so he needs to have all the funds. So I was like, we'll see.
That's what I want to get answers to.
Yeah. So learning about that. Then we have like a little glimpse into like these other
guilds.
Yeah, these other guilds
clans
and how like, some friends, they meet up and they're just like, we made it to the big leagues. We're all in these big guilds now. And they're learning about how much of a difference it is between their level and like the top people at their guilds, and they're just like, oh, we don't stand a chance. So yeah, I'm enjoying this show. It's great. Yeah, we're going about Friend. Where do you want to go with Friend?
Basically, I love it.
It's a great Friend's that person.
So it's the arc for the exam.
Yes.
And I mean, Fern is great,
Yeah, Fern is pretty great. She's just like, all right.
She used basic offense and defense.
She said that's all. She's like, and she tells them all blatantly. She's like, yeah, my teacher said that's all it'll take to defeat the mages of this time. Right. So I don't need anything fancy against y'all. Like
Umbale versus Whirlpool was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Fern beat Eherin or however you pronounce her name, but she's supposed to be the strongest of the group. And I just started laughing when Whirlbell went ahead and picked up his fallen ally. Yeah. She's like, you don't believe me, do you? Like, all she used was basic magic.
He was like, nah.
Nah, I believe you. And I just saw the area of the fight. I was like, oh my gosh. Fern. It's so ridiculous. And then, I was like, the real fight ended up happening. We got Friend versus Dinkin.
How do you feel about Dinkin?
I got no beefs, no quarrels.
I mean, I feel like he annoys me a little bit, but then I get his reasoning for a lot of things. But I don't know. Something about him I'm just like, I'm not a fan of.
But, the first test ends after that good fight. Yep. We also got to see the two girls fight the dude. And, I can't stand the examiners.
Yeah.
Like, that one dude's like, the barrier won't break. It's from such and such. And then, Friend's like, oh, I'm done analyzing the barrier. And that one girl was like, it's going to break. And sure enough, Friend broke that thing. And just so they can get some water in there. Tore that boy up.
He was like, what?
It's like, this is why I can't stand water. Tore that man up. But then they had the classic, it was like a filler episode. They all was going around grabbing food, meeting up. Stark basically got taken again. And I was wondering, I was like, where the heck is Stark been? So yeah, I love Friend. And now the second stage is about to happen. I know it's about to really pick up.
Everyone's like, oh no, if it's Sense is the one that's orchestrating the exam.
Oh yeah, they're like, we ain't got a chance.
We ain't got a chance. Everyone's gonna fail. And then Sense is like, well, why would you expect these exams to be easy if you're gonna be a top mage? What do you? And I was like, that's true. I was like, that's really true. But all in all, love the show. Think it's great. Can't wait to see what else happens in this exam. And I just don't know who's not gonna make it. I mean, I know I'm not worried about Fern or Friend, but right. I don't think those girls are gonna pass. I don't think they're gonna pass. Jeez. I don't think Laufin's gonna pass or what's the other one? I think Dinkin might pass because he's been doing it for too long. Yeah. I don't think a lot of them.
I'm just waiting for someone to just forget their rules. Just go to go to the board if you want.
That's what I'm saying too. I was like, why don't they? I was like, because people live in the north. Regular people live in the north. So I was like, those people aren't top ranking mages. So I'm confused. But hey, we'll get there soon enough. We'll probably run into Craft again. Who knows? All right, that's Friend. It's a great show. Okay. Are we still talking Fire Hunter or we're not talking Fire Hunter? Or is Fire Hunter back burner for you?
Fire Hunter's back burner.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, let's go on to Mashal.
Okay, Mash.
I just don't know when these people are gonna learn. Mash has said it too many times. I'm tired of him repeating himself. He is the strongest person here.
I'm glad he got in that guy's face.
Oh, absolutely. He was like, you want to know what pain is? I'll show you. Not a problem.
So Mash meets up with Max during the first stage. They help find keys, or they finally get a key.
Yes.
And Max says, hey, go ahead. You can have that key. I know what to do. And apparently the whole time, Max sensed that somebody was
behind them.
Behind us. And that's when Carpaccio, right. He went ahead and he attacked Max. And, after that he came out it looked like, I was like, yo, Max won.
Made it. I was like, he survived. And it was it was him tossing his body there.
Then get stepped on. And then a classic. But this is why I love MASH, because they spit in the face of classics. Because it's a classic where Carpaccio goes ahead and grabs some water. He's going to throw it in his face because he's weak. And Mash catches it, adds it to his muscle milk, shakes it up.
He's like, sorry, this is my scheduled time to take my protein. It was great.
They named the next test. I just love that Dot flips off the announcer. I was just like, what show does this?
Mash.
Like no one does. And they're all supposed to be giving crystals. There's going to be a team battle.
Oh, that was crazy.
Mash crystal slips. Dot's crystal slips. It's up to Finn.
And Finn's like, I gotta hold on to this. The weight of my team is on my shoulders.
And then per usual, Finn's with the real questions. Like, this is a team match. Why are we split up? And I'm like,
yes, that's so true. These are excellent questions.
And then we get some info. We find out about the 13 ancient wands.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, they're basically Master Canes.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
oh, wait, no, let's not forget that Mash has his own wand now. That's like that.
It's an iron wand.
Right, which is that heavy. That's important. But yeah,
Finn is a wall.
This was so sad. Like, Finn was like, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep to myself. Keep it moving. Like, not approach anybody. And he stumbles across the worst person to possibly come across, which is Carpaccio. Well, no, Margaret's actually pretty bad.
Right.
But Carpaccio, like, ends up engaging another student and takes them out. It was bad. And then Carpaccio's like, hey, you can avoid the fate of him like he did by just give me your crystal. And you don't have to experience any pain. And Finn was like, no. And that's when it all went downhill. I didn't know how long Finn was going to last for this. He
was about to kill Finn.
I was like really impressed with his like tenacity and how long he was able to like keep it up, because his powers, Carpaccio's powers is very interesting. At first I was like, what's going on with the statue? What's happening? It's cracking. It was interesting. It was really interesting. But Mash comes saves the day. He was like, Finn, just hold on. I'm coming.
I just, like you said, you already hinted on it, but I like when Mash is like, he said, so you want to know? He said, I'll go ahead and show you. He said, I'll teach you what pain is, and we'll see if you want to come after me.
And if you can withstand as long as Finn did with what I did to you. And I was like, this is great. He's doing this to each person that's like, no, I'm pretty powerful. And he was like, y'all can't withstand what Finn has to go through every time.
I think Mash killed him.
I think so.
I was going to say, at a certain point, we're going to look into this. I was like, I think Mash may have killed a student.
Justin's waiting for like Carpaccio's info page to say it was and no longer.
But no, Mash is hilarious.
No, it's a good show. I'm enjoying it. Don't know where Dot's at right now, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's totally fine.
He's fine.
But yeah, I feel like we got one of the worst threats out the way, which is him. Marguerite, I feel like it'll just be like a rematch, but
I think Lance is gonna fight him.
That sounds about right. Because Lance, I thought that was interesting that Lance wasn't on their team. But it's...
Oh, right. Well, he's on Lance's team.
But yeah, so MASH was good. I'm loving the show. Alright, what's next?
Shangri-La.
Alright, Shangri-La. So what do you have? So we're in the match with Weatherman, and it's getting real. It's getting like, we have to withstand some time. Because we are dying, we're being revived constantly. I'm like, are we going to run out of items? I understood that we went to the store and bought everything up. But I was like, are we going to actually be able to do it? And we're successful. I feel like we're successful. I think it all works out.
Yeah, it was hard to talk about. Like, I mean, basically, it was 3 episodes of good fighting.
It was just like good. It was just good fighting. It was like
item usage.
Like Sunrock was going up against Weatherman back to back, And then the other two are just fighting the horse.
Yeah,
which
10-minute phases.
Right, which is good. Like, they had a plan, they had a strategy.
I hated how it ended. And again, like, that's one of those things where it's like week by week versus binging, because like episode 18 ended as we all handled our task, and it was just like, come on, like, you could have teased like a little bit of.
I know, I was waiting to
the
be
conclusion, not just hit us with the outro, but. I feel
like we were successful. I feel like it worked out. I feel like we're fine. But I'm just like, my biggest question is like, okay, well, what's next? Because this was like a side quest.
I mean, we're going to continue to hunt down unique monsters. That's the kind of game and things these three are.
Well, no, but my question is like, in order for them to get here, we threw our entire guild our clan under the bus.
Sure.
And like, they're all fighting for their lives against all the other groups that are like, we're taking them out today.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, what's going to happen to us next? Like, yeah, I know that we're trying to work on, like, defeat unique monsters and stuff. But I'm like...
That's all they care about. We don't care about that clan stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's it then.
Yeah.
Justice, like, we don't care.
There's nothing else.
Oh, okay.
That's that.
I mean,
we'll probably become friends with the girl who's trying to find us and talk to us. But other than that, no, like, we're fine. We're fine out here.
Okay, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah, there's no issues here.
Alright, well, alright then, but Shangri-La, it's good. Just good fighting. Yeah, it was just like 3 episodes of like really good, like...
It was 3 episodes of a boss fight. You know, it was not too much talking to do on that. Just great sequencing, great action.
Yeah.
Just gotta watch it.
Oh, I will say I thought it was like hilarious about the pill that they took.
Oh,
that was so crazy. They're like, hey,
lowered his level every 15 seconds.
No, 30 seconds, and they're like, wait, that means it will be at level 30 by the time this is done. She was like, well, you didn't finish my explanation. Listening to my explanation. So I thought that was wild. So now they're back to where they're started again, where they have to like train like crazy. But yeah, so Shangri-La was good. I enjoyed it. Alright. We are on...
Ragna?
We are on Ragna. Crimson. When will you learn?
Always goes a step too far.
Always a step too far. Because we don't know where Crimson is, and neither does Crimson. And I thought that was great. We're learning even more about the characters, and I was like, is it possible for us to learn more? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
It's true. We learned about Fu and how that girl who's always like calling him every name in the book is actually his sister. What's her name? Majorca or something? Like, and she has a whole power. I was just like blown away by back to back thing. It was
the time magic in her
like,
blood.
And he was like, Chris was like, oh my gosh,
teleport magic.
They have teleportation magic within them. That's crazy. He was like, I went too far, and I was like, at least Crimson can acknowledge that they went too far.
Those twins devouring other dragons.
Yeah, and their horns.
At least the blood.
And their horns were showing.
Yep.
And I was
and
like,
tail.
That too. I was like, all right. I was like, okay. What else did we learn? Have mercy. We got whatchamacallit's backstory. We got both of their backstories. We got Zora's backstory and Tada Tectora's backstory. Yeah. So they were part of the same kingdom, and they were like regime. Yeah, right, and they were actually like one of the top guards for like the kingdom and stuff like that. And I was like, I was like, that's crazy.
The other thing I learned from their backstory is that what's that fool's name? Camus. Mm-hmm. The lightning dragon is trash.
Yes.
And that's what I like he killed their princess.
Oh, Camus, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But then we kind of got the understanding how the silverware princess is supposed to be like the second coming of her. And the show has a good way of throwing you off. like the whole time, you know, we kind of find out that the maid lady was just waiting until he finally let his guard down.
She was that person. She was that guy. She was like the whole time, like her presence was hit. Like he didn't even notice her presence was there the entire time, and he got eyes throughout the entire forest. Right. I was like, she bad. And then once she was like, she was like, I targeted your head and heart, and that didn't work. And then she just walked away. Right. She continued. I was like, she bad. I love it.
Oh, it's because of the madness. And then that's when, like, the Silver Prince is like, okay, cool. Now I know exactly his location. I'm glad I didn't waste my ability. And, like, this fool, it's a fake body. He's underground this whole time. So I was like...
So then she was
pulling him up.
But then... So then I got confused. Because then once he was getting pulled up, he started to lose control of the forest. But then he was like, oh, that means the water dragon is like interfering. And I was like, wait, who's the water dragon?
I don't know where the dragon came from, but then they were like,
or like the water
they were like, that old man's waking up.
And I was like, his own thing. Or like the Lord of the Forest. I was like, who is this? And I was like,
he's attacking everything. He don't want to be used.
He don't want to be used. But I was just like, okay, we're getting more people. I was like, fine. Yeah. And then they did their final move, and the whole time she was like, target Taratekra, you know, the other guy. Like, they weren't even going after him. They were going after the big dude. And I was like, genius. They threw that thing right through him. Mm-hmm. Ragna caught it on the other side, and I guess he blew it again.
He blew himself up just in time. And then I was just like, the next episode, we go ahead. We're basically trying to stop him from, you know, blowing up. I didn't understand what Shin was trapped in.
At first I thought it was slime. Right. At first, but then I was like, no, it was water. But I was like, this goes back to the Lord of the Forest. They're saying like he's caught. And I was like, is this part of its power? So I wasn't sure. So, but it never, and I thought I missed something. I was like, wait, when did this happen? And how did Ragna get free from it? Because they were all together at some point. So yeah. But yeah, so we're trying to hold off Taratektora's explosion. And so like Ragna's like holding it off but himself with his power. And I was wondering, I was like, man, if you're doing this is like, you're gonna be found out because like that explosion is like too much. You're gonna have to like unleash more of your power because like the Silver War Princess is like he's holding back. And then she was like, "Is it my sword? Because my sword's not powerful enough to actually like."
That's what it
was. So she was ashamed. But in that moment, I still don't know if it was real or if it was fake. I don't know. We were successful with that, and then everyone's like, yay, we're good. And then Kamui just shows up.
Oh, no, that was real.
But then I was like, who called him? I was like, did Zora, like, call him, or did he just immediately sense him?
I think he sensed that fight.
But then he took her out. Did he kill her? Her head was off. I was like, what's going on? I was like, was it possible?
I wrote, holy, you know what? I couldn't believe and I said, that lightning dragon showed up and killed the princess as we were just starting to teleport.
Right.
And then they had the nerve to give us some background, the info, the 6 claws and 2 fangs. They're the 8 most powerful demonic swords in the world. And the lightning dude apparently killed one of its wielders when he was a human. And now he has that sword. So he was a bad man. Even before he became a dragon.
So from that, I got confused because I was like, are they giving us more information? Because they said it was like the claw, because like how they're like the winged group. Right. I was like, so was the claw like a separate group?
I just took it as.
I was like,
are there more but people? 8 sword. Right. I know what you're saying.
I was like, man.
But I still think he trashed. Because like. If you're so big and bad, why didn't you show up in the beginning?
That's true.
Don't come and fight me after I used all my energy. And then had the nerve to say, saying, was that it? Is that all you got? Kind of like, you know, catch me outside. Catch me in the beginning, buddy.
He was trying to be like, He was just like, yeah, you're supposed to pass your limits. I was like, this isn't Black Clover. This isn't this. This isn't what's happening.
And then we met these Silurians. So the teleportation finally works or something happens. And all the Silurians look just like Ultima.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Ragna, because that man did not hesitate. He killed one of them so quick, he punched him right in the face.
He was like, we're not wasting any time.
But they all look like her, so I'm like,
I was like,
what's the story here?
I was like, is she a rogue one? What's going on?
Right.
I was like, I don't know.
But the Silurians want the dragons dead, so
something.
There's something there.
Something's there. But enjoying the show. It's just so much is happening all the time. All the time. All right. I think we're on One Piece.
We're on One Piece.
All right. Go ahead, Justin. I know you're loving every minute of this. And all the Blackbeards.
Oh man, I'm loving a lot of stuff, but
I mean, I had some questions because so after seeing this fight or like this fight that's going down with like because you were right, I was like, Blackbeard was like, I knew one of y'all was coming this way.
It's bad.
He was right, and he was like, I knew one of y'all was coming. One of the three was coming. Y'all all are a problem, and I have to take y'all out. So the
one thing I was wrong about.
Okay.
I knew. So at least I called it Blackbeard versus Law.
Yeah.
I thought they were fighting because he wanted Law's power. Little did we know it was just because Law happened to come this direction.
Way, and now he was like, all right, now that I know it's you, I want to take everything you got. And I was like, but then he made it seem like he wanted his pony glyphs, right? But I was like,
because he figured whoever came from there, they got the polyglyph.
They got it. But I was like, I thought he was getting some too, or has Blackbeard not been collecting them this entire time?
Apparently, Law made it sound like Blackbeard has some that maybe Law don't got. So that's why Law was like,
how many are out there?
Because Law made it. Law said winner take all.
He did set it up.
I said it. They got Pudding Kia. They showed it.
You was right. I was like, Justin is hollering right now. I was like, they got Pudding, and Pudding put two and two together. She was like, I don't know what y'all think I'm going to do for y'all, but wait till Mom comes. And they're just like, she was defeated. But Pudding didn't seem devastated to hear that. So I was like, so is Big Mom actually dead?
Well, but all we do know.
But we know who got it, though. Yeah, you was right. You were right, though. You called it that he was going to be the one to come through. And he did.
I needed to see.
Kuzan was there, man.
I needed to see this fight. Well, it had to be Kuzan.
Well,
He's strong dude. But apparently they got Von Ogre and Kuzan went and attacked Whole Cake.
And Cracker did not stand a chance.
How could he?
I agree. I don't even think he should be a part of the top generals. I was like, Smoothie, sure.
But even then, it's 2-on-1.
Please, come on.
I'm sorry.
Cracker was not all that, even
there is no where it was Katakuri. I gotta see this Katakuri fight because
I don't think Katakuri was there.
He wasn't on the ship.
No.
With Oven and all these other people.
Look, they got different islands. Remember, they said that she was on a separate, different island, and that's the one that they went to. Listen, but you were right. You were totally right. I gotta see. But how do you feel? I mean, I will say.
And we got information about Sword.
We did get information about Sword. We did get information about Sword. I will say I kind of want to take. I was wrong a little bit about Law's group
thank you. I didn't know if it was you or Janae.
It was me. I think Janae was too, but we were all confused. I was like, what can they actually do? But when they got into that water, it was on site.
I said, kid, this is what you wanted. You wanted to see if Law's crew could fight. And not only they fighting.
They fight underwater.
Not even that. They fighting Blackbeard's crew.
That's what I mean. I was like, and they're not doing bad. I was like, they're doing a pretty good job. But my question is, now that we've seen Blackbeard versus Law's crew, and now we're seeing more of Blackbeard's people, but he's missing that lady.
He only brought 4 with him.
He only brought 4. Yeah, because I was like,
he said only 4's needed.
Only 4's needed. That's right. But now that we saw some of their powers, like in play, is that still in alignment with your matchups for the Straw Hats?
Well,
because like we didn't really see Pegasus do much because Pegasus is his own person because we saw the doctor's separate.
Because that horse didn't have that power for it. They made it their business to put in parentheses what his powers were.
Right. Pegasus. Yeah.
So that, I forget when I talked about it, but that means Blackbeard went to Sky Peak. Because he took it, that power was the thing that God was riding.
That's true.
So he's been to Sky Peak, and he's took that power there from him and put in that horse.
I mean, because that's true, because I remember that horse.
From Grandfall.
That horse was very sickly when we first met him. He's still looking a little sickly.
Of course. But yeah, Grandfall was riding that pink-looking bird thing that had the Pegasus fruit.
That's true.
So that means Teach has been to Sky Peak.
That's right.
So there's that.
But from what you've seen so far, do you still feel like your matchups are still
the numbers are still the numbers.
Well, no, I'm just like, from what you've seen, so like with the doctor, with his like illness and stuff that he was doing, do you still feel like he's going to be a match against Chopper? Like, I'm just asking. Because like...
I still think they're a group.
Okay.
The doctor and the horse.
Okay.
Because I see what you're saying, but no, Chopper wouldn't just fight the horse. So no, it's Doc
Q. No, I thought you wanted Chopper to go up against the doctor. So that's what I'm asking.
Yes, that's still gonna happen.
Okay.
Like, I need to see what all these, Sniper versus Sniper.
But Sniper has like
that warp proof now.
Right? Because I was like,
that's gonna be interesting, and he can warp several people.
He really.
It ain't just him.
It ain't just him. It's him and some.
Like these dudes is collecting some stuff.
They collected.
So we going to, and then that's why.
But then we see that. So Teach is using 2, and he's not using Boa's because before we were just like, did he take Boa's power?
Oh no, looks like they did not. Remember, because whatchamacallit showed up.
That's true.
Rayleigh showed up. That's why that didn't happen.
No, it was never.
We do know Kobe has been taken captive,
and people want us to do something.
And then that's when we met Vice Admiral Dawn. We met Prince Gurus from. We got 2 people from Sword. They said we can't reach Drake, so we know Drake's a part of Sword.
Yep.
We know CP0 is coming to kill all these Vegapunks.
I am so annoyed with Kaku. He is the worst. Like, he should not have went up the ranks.
That's why I want to see it. The fact that they're back, that can only mean they must be stronger.
Well, it's not all of them. It's not all of them.
At least these 2.
It's just those 2 and it's Stussy, but the other ones aren't there.
Who's the 4th person? Or am I just sort of believe that it's this Sephira, this baby-looking Kuma. We also find out that Kuma is Bonnie's dad.
That was crazy.
And yeah, like other than that, we got oh yes, I didn't forget.
Okay,
I'll put this note.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I said, well. Y'all were the biggest haters there were.
Yes.
I remember when we used to do something called One Piece Fact of the Day.
We can still do One Piece
Fact of the Day. And I brought up some biscuit head kids from Punk Hazard. And y'all said...
That was crazy.
And y'all was like, we ain't going to see these kids again. And guess what? Oh, it started right off with big hair mocha. They getting back to normal. We get all we see
medicine. They don't want to take it. It's a whole thing.
I'm like, oh yes. One Piece Fact of the Day rearing its ugly head.
Listen, that's not the problem. It's whatever, right? And I was like, darn it, those kids. Yes.
But I want to see the outcome because it ended with Blackbeard doing Black Vortex.
Yep.
That's what beat Ace.
It is.
So also I'm confused. I thought they had some type of sex change. I thought they had beat the
I was like, is Ivanka here?
Right.
And then I was like,
that's what I was thinking.
I was like, Ivanka come through. But no, that was part of his like, so now I'm curious about him. About he's able to make different types of like diseases and viruses, and that's what he
cures and potions.
But then like Law was like, all I need to do is like do an overwhelming amount of hockey.
Right, go overcome it.
That's all it is. And I was like, of course, it doesn't take long.
So, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. And then we got, so here's the biggest thing. I don't think this fight's over.
No, it's not. It's far from over. We here.
Is Peppo going to use the rumble fruit that Chopper gave him?
I don't know.
That's what I want to see.
I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna see this because I feel like if that's the first fight that I'm seeing Beppo like throw hands is from him using what Chopper gave him when he just met Chopper. I'm just like.
But isn't it that like?
I just need to see
if he gets paired up with Burgess, because that's what it would look like it would be.
I think it's. I just want to see what. I wouldn't want him to waste it here. I mean, I get it. He might have to live. He might have to live, but I'm just like, I want to see something. If I'm seeing his other people, his team, like, doing the thing, I want to see what Beppo can do first.
They're doing things so far, but is this all going to be a ploy to try to escape? Like, and again, you know, maybe John has to be the one to go fight Burgess.
Yeah, John got to come out. I don't think they're gonna escape because Law is like, no, this is we here and it's winner take all.
It's only 4 of them. Granted, they all got souped up powers. Even Law said it, and I don't know how much, you know, because I was thinking maybe those 2 were mer people because they were like inhale deep and were shooting out the water, but they were just like, we're from this sea and then like I want to see what's the extent, like, old dudes in that submarine. What are you about to do?
That's what I mean. I want to see what they can do. And so that's why I'm a little hesitant and would be disappointed if, like, the first thing I'm seeing from Beppo is specifically what Chopper's giving him. I want to see what you can do with that.
Because I feel like we've seen Beppo at least using his karate and stuff, but we haven't seen anyone do anything.
Not in a serious
fight.
That's what I mean. I was like, I want to see what you can do against Blackbeard. I'm not against him using it at all in this fight. He can totally do it, but I don't want it to be the first thing that you're using. I feel like that's weird.
I want to see how we get out of this.
I mean, it's either we win or we lose. Now, unfortunately, I'm with you. My bet's on Blackbeard's Pirates because it is. I never want to see Law lose, but I'm happy that his team is able to do some stuff. But at the same time, it's just like,
and then
it's the power scale.
The only thing I keep looking at this intro. I don't know who Shanks is being paired up with.
No one.
Not Shanks, but Kid. I don't know who Kid is paired up with.
I feel like Kid's just gonna be taken out.
Well, I mean, when they show Lelouch and Monkey, they show Zoro and someone. Now I'm thinking it's going to be Kaku because now we know CP0 is coming over here, and then we have Law and Blackbeard, which was like, all right, cool. We have Kuzan and Garp, so I'm like, when does this happen?
It's gonna be great.
And then we have, like I said, Kid versus someone. And then, what's the Sanji thing? I got an answer. I got questions. We need answers. We also know the Seraphim. Now we know there's a Kuma looking one who's with CP0.
Well, technically, Kuma's like, I feel like Kuma was like the blueprint, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about that kid looking Kuma that's standing right behind him. Like, we got a kid mode now. Like, we know he was the bloater type. That's why we have the pacifistas and
But we also know they're coming to take him out. Vegapunk.
See, and that's what I don't understand. The fact that if Vegapunk is the government's greatest scientist weapon, he split himself into 6, and now they're coming to eliminate him. Isn't that mean they're killing him? Or maybe they're just under the impression, I can't stand that stupid kid. He's the nephew of the light guy.
Oh, yeah, he's awful. He's the worst.
So maybe they're saying, hey, we don't need Egghead no more. This is the new science. Like, now that we got the pacifistas and the seraphims, we don't need you anymore. Right. So maybe that's why they're coming. But, you know, we got a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I feel like with Kid, I think, because we haven't really gotten the full, like, we know that Revelry's done and all that other stuff, but I feel like he'll be tied up into that area of what's going on.
Oh, no.
Well, no. I mean, not in the sense of, like, over there. I'm just saying, like, since we're at Egghead, he's going up against Blackbeard. I'm just like, what other major events are happening? And so I feel like Kid's going to get tied up into some of
I think this is your worst nightmare.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Why is this my worst nightmare, Justin?
Because we're an egghead.
Yes.
Law and Blackbeard are meeting up. And now we about to get 2 birds, 1 stone.
He's not going to Elbaf.
Ken must be headed to Elbaf.
Guess what? That's not my worst nightmare. Y'all, you want to stay on this hill about like, oh, Luffy's gonna go. We're gonna go to Elbaf.
We on this hill, and I told you about 500 episodes back. I'm on this hill that we as fans are going to go to Elbaf regardless because you don't believe in Elbaf, period.
I didn't say that. I was like, I believe that Elbaf exists.
You are going to experience Elbaf. That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying, like, I believe Elbaf exists.
Sure.
I don't think the crew's going to go to Elbaf.
You didn't think we were going to see Elbaf.
If we get it, it's going to be in a movie or a special.
No.
It's not going to be a whole arc. No, it's not.
Why would it don't have to be a whole arc.
No, y'all can keep pushing on.
I'm calling it right now. Kid going to Elbaf.
That's why you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be real disappointed. And I'm just like...
Kid has to have a role. He is here.
Quit giving him a role.
Even Teach mentioned them. Because it could have easily been Kid or it could have been Luffy that came this way.
Look,
I know you did.
He was hoping it wasn't Kid because we all know Kid don't got nothing. He don't have nothing
you would have hated that fight too. Because then you would have had to deal with me talking about Kid and you would have had to deal with me talking about Teach. The only positive, you would have got to see Kid get beat up. But other than that, we would have been talking. This whole conversation we just been talking would have been about 2 people you don't like to talk about the most: Kid and Teach. That's what that would have been about. And I would have loved every bit of it.
It's whatever. Anyway, so that's this week's episode of Kaizoku Uncharted. Talking about Kid.